good times knocking upon your front door.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Make Your Day Richer. Barbara just made my day richer just by telling me her last name. Can you please just repeat what you just said? Because that might have been the funniest thing ever.
Yeah, I know. So my last name is Badolati. And my mother said, if you want to help people learn how to pronounce it, just tell them it's like a lot of body backwards. Badolati, lot of body. So it's kind of fun.
That's hilarious. And you've written a #1 bestseller on Amazon, a book called Your Sleep Blissful Guidebook, which I'm going to throw it here, and then we'll also have a graphic up there as well. You're really a wellness pioneer. You've been in the wellness field industry since the 80s. Is that correct? Kind of before it was a thing.
Right, exactly. I mean, the word wellness wasn't even in Webster's dictionary. It's hard to believe because it's so saturated now, and it can mean so many different things. And it really came out of me being very unhealthy, very unhappy, and trying to figure out how to navigate my life, and realizing that we're whole beings and that wellness affects all aspects of our lives.
Now, did this come to you in a dream while you were napping, or how did that happen?
No, it actually came because I couldn't get up in the morning. Yeah.
Really?
I did not like my job at all. It was very stressful. It wasn't really designed for me. And I was trying to fit myself into a peg that, the box that wasn't fitting. Also, I was in some very unhealthy, dysfunctional relationships. I was partying like 1999, and it just all in my early 20s accumulated, where one morning I woke up and thought, didn't really sleep well either, and just thought, I can't keep doing this. What am I going to do? And there was no wellness. It was just kind of starting to come on to the scene. There was no health coaches or life coaches or really very many tools. I mean, I was smoking. I was eating at fast food. I didn't really know very much, but I just started with one thing, and that's what I encourage my clients to do too. Just start with one thing.
Now, I know that napping, which is really what I want to talk to you about, because I feel like I love a good nap. So anybody who's going to encourage this, I want them on the show. But I feel like today it's like you have to go, and it's telling everybody the 9,000 things you did in a day is supposed to be like an accomplishment and something you're supposed to be so proud of, as opposed to things like, hey, I rested today. Like, that's so looked down upon. Has that always been the case for you as well? Like, when did that was napping ever popular, and when did that change?
Well, I think in general, we could talk about our culture and our society of, like you said, go, do. And there is a lot to do. There is a lot to experience. And yet we can experience it more in such a healthier way when we take care of ourselves. So my mom, again, I'm just going to mention her because she worked third shift. She raised us. She was the inspiration of the book because she didn't sleep very much, because she was a single mom trying to juggle it all and make sure that we had things for school and that she was there during the day. But working third shift meant that she didn't really have very much sleep. And so she used naps. Also, my grandfather worked in a factory, third shift. I saw him napping a lot, and my mother encouraged us. And so one of the ways that she got us to take naps was we would run around, and then she'd say, put your hand on your heart. Oh my goodness, your heart is beating. It's time for a heart rest. So she never called it a nap. And one of the things that I like to encourage people to do is think of this as self-care and also as resting, because naps do have a bad connotation in our society. But a 10-minute restorative pose is the equivalent of an hour's worth of sleep. So if we can start to reframe, and I do think that more and more people are looking at ways to self-care and also just create more wellness in their lives and get the most out of their lives, and something like a 10-minute rest or restorative pose or deep breathing and just closing your eyes. Our eyes are used so much during our days. That can really replenish our lives and our energy.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I'm just a big proponent of it. And again, I think that we don't have to call it naps. It's really just about taking 10 to 15 minutes to rest. We're going to talk a little bit more. I want to be able to share why you don't want to go into 40 minutes, an hour, because then people kind of feel groggy, or they've had bad experiences with naps, or they try to take a nap and then they get woken up from, some other disturbance. So yeah, there's a lot of reasons that we can reframe it. And also, like you said, our society doesn't necessarily encourage it.
I know you have 3 things that you want to talk to us about, and something you want to show us, which I'm excited for, because I think that's going to be super helpful for people. So where do you want to start with those?
Well, I would like to start with a couple of things that we haven't
Yeah.
talked about yet. And it's simply just probably because you didn't really know to ask. But one of the things that I want people to be aware of is that humans are one of the few species that tries to get all of their sleep into one long period of time. But if you look at the animal kingdom, or your dog or your cat, and my dog may start barking here in a minute, but they take naps. Right now, he's sleeping. Cats, right? Dogs, we see them taking naps throughout the day.
Yeah.
And if you think about, many cultures still practice what's called a siesta, where they close their shops or they go home for a couple of hours. And one of the things besides lunch is to take a rest, a siesta, which is derived from the Latin word sexta, which is derived from the number 6. So about 6 hours after you wake, so let's say 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, that brings you into that siesta time, which is that noon, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock.
Usually when you grab another cup of coffee. Yes.
Yeah, when we have our midday slump, because our circadian rhythms, which is the natural 24-hour cycle that is affected, physically, mentally, our behaviors, temperature, all of those things, food, stress. There's a lot of things that affect our circadian rhythms. The biggest influence is day light and night dark. So people that are working third shift, for instance, or even having to get up and get going like teenagers really early, it's not in sync with their circadian rhythm. So the other reason that siestas were part of the culture was because it was in alignment with our natural organic rhythms of time and our circadian rhythms. So one of the other things, when people sometimes understand that, then the light bulb goes off and they say, oh yeah, I do have a 45-minute lunch break, and taking a 10-minute rest can really help to restore and revive my energy and allow me to, and there's many people that have used napping to carry on and create another 12-hour day. So anyway, I wanted to share that a little bit. Also, another really important thing to know is there is a chemical called adenosine, and it builds up. It's really important. It's part of our neurotransmitters for our central nervous system, and it builds up. But when we take a nap in that siesta period, it actually is released from the brain. It clears the brain. So one of the things that people can do, instead of, like you said, another cup of coffee, which I know you love, another cup of coffee or an energy drink or more sugar, is to take a rest and release that adenosine and allow also those stress hormones like adrenaline, cortisol, and so on. Those also get reduced. So there are thousands of physiological and psychological benefits to sleep, regardless of the nap. But the nap is a great way to help us, especially if we have sleep disruptions, which everybody will have in their life. 1 or 2 days might go by where you're anticipating an event like a wedding, or maybe some sort of stress at work. Maybe you have a loss in your family or a loved one. or the cat just jumped on your bed and woke you up. I mean, there's many things that disrupt our sleep. And so again, that nap or that rest can help make up a little of that disruption in our sleep pattern or those stages that can help us to revive enough to get through that day.
Well, and you were talking about how humans are the only ones that try to get all their sleep in one time. But even, I mean, as babies and children, we were not doing that either. We were sleeping throughout the day. And then somehow we decided we don't have to do that anymore.
It's part of our culture too. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
So one of the number one sleep nap strategies is just identifying it as rest or restoration or self-care. So I think when you were saying earlier about how our society doesn't really support that, it's reframing it.
Mm-hmm.
And it may just be taking a little rest in your car. If you're someplace where you're working and you don't have, I mean, there's many work sites now that have napping rooms.
Yeah.
And then when I was on the book tour last year, I always ask people, like I did you, how'd you sleep last night? And there was one gentleman while I was getting my breakfast at the hotel who said, well, I have to be here at 5 a.m. and I sleep really well, but I don't get enough sleep because by the time I get home, it's mid-afternoon and my kids are either getting off the bus or like right now it's summer and they're home. And so I just keep going. And by the time that all of the chores are done and the kids are taken care of, I just don't have enough time to get enough sleep. And so I said, have you ever thought about just like taking a rest or a nap or something? He said, no, I've never even thought that that's possible. And so the things I'm going to share you and your audience is some of the things that I shared with him as well. And then, you have to also kind of tweak it, make it your own, practice. Sometimes, again, people have had bad experiences with naps. They wake up groggy or they don't really feel revived. And so you just have to kind of keep working with your own circadian rhythms, your own environment, your own mental thought about what this is. And again, it may be just reframing it. So that was one of the number one nap strategies.
Yeah, that's so smart to reframe that idea because it makes you feel lazy or, there are all kinds of things you can tell yourself about why you shouldn't nap or, go to get a full 8 hours or, like sleep in or any of those things.
Yeah. Have you ever napped?
Oh my gosh, yes. Yes, I love a good nap. Yes. And I think it's all like one of the benefits of so many people working from home now, right? Is that they are able to fit that in their schedule, hopefully a little bit better because they're in a place where they can do it and be comfortable.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Would
Yeah.
you like me to show you a few of
Yes, I would love it.
Yeah. So I find that there's two that are the most beneficial and easy for people. So if it's okay, I'm going to go ahead and kick off my sandals. It could be called legs on the wall. It could be legs on the headboard. I'm going to use the sofa because this is another easy way to prop up your legs. And I find that this is really helpful for people that are on their feet a lot or they're really fatigued. So you can put a blanket or something underneath your sacrum or that pelvic area if you want a little bit more lift. What we're doing is we're allowing the legs to be above the heart. And the benefit to that is that the blood flows easily back to the heart. The heart doesn't have to do a lot of work. Also, when you're going into this napping, resting phase, you only want to go for about 10 to 20 minutes. And the reason is that the first stage is about 10 minutes. We go through about 5 stages of sleep and they cycle through about every 90 minutes, which is why sometimes people wake up in the middle of the night because they're starting to go back into stages 1 and 2. But 1 and 2 is perfect for your nap. So we'll talk about that in a little bit as far as preparing for that. The position, I'm not going to use this right now, and I'm going to also probably move the monitor a little bit too so you can see. So you want to lay on your side And you're going to scooch up as far as you can to the edge of the headboard or the sofa or whatever you're going to use to prop your legs. And then you're simply going to roll over onto your back, swing your legs, and then just put them up onto the calves, onto the seat of that, or the legs. If they're on the headboard, they can go up. And then extend out your arms if you can do that. Now, some of the things that are really helpful is putting a Kleenex or an eye pillow over your eyes. And you're just going to take those nice deep breaths. So this is, I call it legs on the wall or legs on propped up on something. And again, it just allows the blood flow easily to the heart, and it relaxes the body a little bit more too. The other one that you can do, the second one that I love, is more of a chest opener. And the reason that we want to do that is if you're sitting a lot, hunched over a computer, driving, and this opens up the chest, the heart, and it also allows the rib cage to expand. And when we breathe deeper, we release more of the stress hormones. So I love these Mexican blankets because they're pretty dense. So you don't want a blanket that's super soft because it won't give you the support that you want. And you want it about the length of your torso because you're going to have it pretty narrow and put it in the lengthwise position. Scoot the pelvis up as close to the edge of that blanket. Your knees can be bent if you want, but you can also extend out your legs. And then you're just going to roll down. So the spine, basically, the center of your body is laying on that blanket. And once again, it allows the chest to open, the rib cage, and it's really, really nice to extend out your arms and just let yourself take those nice deep breaths. So that's a chest opener, a heart opener, if you will. And then, just even having a Kleenex over your eyes helps to relax those teeny tiny muscles of the eyes. Some people have an eye pillow with lavender or something in it. And then even like some AirPods or headphones or something like that really helps too.
There are over 100 ways in your book. Where can people get the book? Obviously on Amazon. And do you have your own website that people can connect with you?
Yeah, if people go to Sleep Blissful, they'll get that second edition. That's my website. And if they want a copy of it, I will sign it and mail it to them. They can also download the PDF too from my website,
Perfect.
Sleep Blissful. Yeah.
I was lucky enough to get a signed copy, which goes right on my bookshelf. I love it. I have a bookshelf that is just of books from people on my show. So it makes me happy.
And it's short and sweet. I mean, some people are like, oh, I don't have to spend days reading a book. I'm like, no, just open up a page, take that tip and go with it. Exactly. And so those are the two positions that I wanted to share. And then the three must-haves is you must give yourself permission without worrying or guilt or a to-do list that's in your head. Right? Sometimes we give ourselves that moment and then our minds are just going like, I can't do this right now. So one of the must-haves is just giving yourself permission and knowing that you're actually depositing into your life and your energy system that's going to carry you further. So that was one thing. And also giving yourself permission to not go into the fear that you're not going to sleep that night. That sometimes has happened for people. If you go too late into that siesta period, 6 hours after you woke up this morning, then it might go too late and then your circadian rhythms are thrown off. So some people have tried to take a nap at 4 or 5 o'clock, and then they wonder why they can't fall back asleep at 9, 10, 11 o'clock. So you want to be in that time frame as well. The other is no distractions. put your phone on do not disturb, airplane mode, turn the timer on, or use maybe a meditation app or something that will help to give you that time frame where you don't have to worry about being disturbed as much as possible. I mean, yes, the dog barked because somebody came to the door. That can happen. So reduce as much disruptions as possible just for that 10, 20-minute period of time. That 10-minute period of that stage 1 is where you're starting to just relax the muscles. And then after about 10 minutes, we move into stage 2, which is 10 to 20 minutes. So about a half an hour altogether, you could take it. And stage 2 allows the heart rate to slow down and the breathing to slow down and the mind to relax and just starting to receive all those benefits that we talked about. And then the third one is anything else that you can do to support your self-care. So sometimes it's having the conversation with someone. Sometimes it's asking if you can have an extra 15 minutes of a lunch break. Sometimes you might have to see about changing your lifestyle, because there's a lot of things that also cause sleep disruption that is part of our lifestyle. So I just wanted to share some of those different tips and things. There's so much, but we kind of reduced it down to at least the
well, that's why they have to go get the book so they can get the 100 other ways that Barbara lets you in on this. I thank you so much for being here. I'm so happy that this exists for people. I think this is a great, great resource. Thank you, Barbara.
Yeah, well, happy sleep.
Yes. Good night, everyone. We'll be right back after this.
You know what would be better than watching this commercial? Watching your commercial. Join the party that is Make Your Day Richer TV by advertising your brand, business, or project during the show. Use us to promote what you're doing to make our viewers' day richer. 1 month of advertising starts at $200. Scan the QR code or visit makeyourdayricher.com/advertising to start promoting today.
A Head in the Count Productions is your go-to partner for all things creative, offering exceptional videography, photography, editing, and copywriting services. With a proven track record of delivering high-quality content, we excel at handling projects of any size or complexity with ease. Our team is dedicated to bringing your vision to life, ensuring that every detail is executed with precision and creativity. From concept to final product, A Head in the Count Productions works seamlessly to craft content that resonates with your audience. A deep commitment to excellence, combined with an ability to adapt to any challenge, is what makes us the perfect choice for businesses seeking top-tier creative solutions. A Head in the Count Productions, provoking thought through film.
Oh, welcome back, everybody. Did you see that at the beginning? 33,000 views. Thank you so much to everybody who watches this show, who listens to the show. And when you're doing that, make sure you're liking and following. And I just can't thank you enough. Every day, I'm just shocked. Stacey Andon, who has a new podcast episode from her Everyday Enchantment, would say, "Why are you shocked? Of course that's happening." So yes, I am still just so thankful for everybody who watches this show and supports this show. I love doing it, and I'm honored to be able to do it every day. Stacey has a podcast called Everyday Enchantment. She has new episodes every week. I edit the program for her. This is a clip from this week's episode. It's available on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. Take a look.
What if I conquer this thing and it's great? You know, that's the mindset that we have to choose, that it's going to be great. Everything is going to be fine. And some people here listening to my seat think that that's like this positive I can never say this word.
Oh yeah, toxicity. Yeah.
They might think that. And that's not necessarily what it is, but you do want your thoughts to be more positive than negative. And you want to have that toolbox of positive words, positive affirmations. You want to be your own cheerleader because those moments come up. How do I deal with these moments? Am I going to just like wallow in this and allow it to overtake me? Or am I going to conquer this big elephant that's trying to stand in the way?
Ronnie was such a fun guest. And that, again, is available wherever you get your podcast. So make sure you look for Everyday Enchantment. All right. Hey, do you want to hang out with me in November 1st and 2nd in Winston-Salem? If you're an author, a writer, a creator, come to the Inkpreneur Summit. It's November 1st and 2nd, like I said, Winston-Salem. It's 2 days of everything you will need to help your career and business. Put together a little advertising for it right now. If you go to the website, there's early bird special and a 10% off discount. So go take a look at this ad and then come see us in November.
Are you an independent creative looking to take your career to the next level? Whether you're an author, illustrator, or thinking about getting into this industry, it's time to step into the spotlight at the Inkpreneurs Summit 2024. This November 1st and 2nd in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, we're bringing together the best minds in the publishing industry for 2 days of unparalleled learning and intimate networking. From hands-on workshops with industry experts to interactive networking mixers, you'll get the tools, connections, and insights to turn your creativity into a thriving business. And that's not all. Our Fresh Ink Pavilion is the place for new and emerging authors to showcase and sell their books, right in front of passionate readers and industry pros who are ready to support your journey. Plus, meet our incredible lineup of speakers sharing your secrets to success in publishing and beyond. Space is limited and early bird registration is available until September 30th. Don't miss out. Secure your spot today and get ready to elevate your creative career. Visit inkpreneursummit.com to register. Let's give your creativity the success it deserves. See you in Winston-Salem.
Will that be fun? You should come. There's the address right there, inkpreneursummit.com. Go get yourself a discount upon a discount, and join us, would you? I hope so. All right, on tomorrow's show, we've got my dad, who was diagnosed with cancer when I was in 2nd grade in 1992. 30 plus years later, he's still going through it. And we're going to talk all about that with him tomorrow. What I really wanted to talk to him about was how he makes his day richer. He's gone through so much. He's missing pieces of his face, surgeries every year, 3-hour-long trips to the doctor multiple times a year, and what keeps him going. So that is tomorrow's episode. It's really good. He was on my original show, The Richard Wilmore Show, many years ago. And you know what? I'm just thankful that he's still here to be interviewed. I don't know. I'm going to tear up. But anyway, it's a really good, it's going to be a really good show tomorrow. So please tune in. Go make your day richer today and try to make someone else's day richer as well. And we will see you tomorrow. All right. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.